What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back with another review of Love and Hip Hop Miami. This is season 6, episode 18, and let's go ahead and get right into this review. Alright, so we start this episode off seeing Bobby Light. He is hosting a party, and Gael decides to show up. She wants to pull him to the side because she's upset. She's pissed off at the fact that nobody showed up to her grand opening. Girl, first of all, you invited people who don't like you. Like, literally cannot stand you. Why did you think that was even cool? But nonetheless, Bobby had to tell her, like, girl, you done had a fight with everybody. None of these people like you. What are you expecting? So, at this point, she do gotta take accountability. Be like, yeah, I know, but I'm changing. And it's like, girl, we gotta see the proof. You have only changed for a good, maybe 5 days. You got to do a lot more changing for people to see the results, okay? You have a bad reputation. So then she comes up with this bright idea that she wants to do like this big group trip. I said, listen, I'm all for the shows having their cash trip, but not Gael being the person to introduce it. Like, I can understand maybe Shay, hell, Bobby, but not Gael. So basically, Bobby is like, okay, we can go ahead and do this trip. I'll be the face of it. You work on things behind the scenes because we all know if she invite people, they ain't coming. However, Bobby, he has a good rapport with most of the cast. Now, moving on from there, we see Shay. She goes to meet up with her mom and basically informs her mom of the girls' night and how MJ showed up. First of all, Shay is adamant about her brother not dating Amara, okay? Because at this point, a lot of things have transpired since Amara dated MJ. Now Amara is a mother. She has twin girls. She's dated Safari. She's been back and forth with Alan. There's a lot going on with Amara while MJ is still stuck on stupid from the year 2020. So it's kind of like where MJ is, I don't think he is ready to approach where Amara is at this point. I mean, honestly, they probably should have never been together. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel like MJ is probably the only one out of who she's dated that we've seen who actually loves and care about her. Like, for real. Because we're going to get to the lies of Alan in a little bit. Here's the thing. What's so crazy, though, is that Shay's mother, she's all for MJ dating Amara. But when it comes to Shay, she's like, oh no, Shay, you need to be single because you just got out of a relationship and you don't need to be dating. And it's just like, ma'am, that lady is grown. She gonna do whatever she wanna do, okay? So Shay ends up telling her mom about Mike Nasty. Here's the thing. I do understand that he calls himself Mike Nasty, but you could have just told your mama, oh, I met this guy named Mike. We could have dropped the nasty off, okay? Now, this is where things went left. She said, oh, yeah, he got some businesses. He's a business owner because Shay's mom wanted to know what he do for a living. She said, okay, some businesses like what? And Shay could not explain what he do. However, she said his businesses were in Colombia, Mexico, and Pennsylvania. Sir, are you selling drugs? No, wait, you said you used to do that and you don't do that no more. But what's going on? Because those are some specific places. Mexico and Colombia. I'm just saying. Nonetheless, we learned that MJ and his mama have decided to make a music video for that terrible song that they did in support of Shay. Why? We did not need a music video for that. And also, Shay, why is your daughter dropping all that fruit on that floor? Baby, it was Blueberry City. Blueberries were all on that floor. I'm like, damn, both y'all sitting there, ain't nobody paying attention to this child who's just dropping fruit everywhere. I guess. We gonna go ahead and move on. Okay, so we see Amara. She meets up with Alan's mother, okay? Y'all, again, I think I missed last season. I may need to go back and watch because I did not know that Amara had even met up with this lady before on camera. Now, here's the thing. His mama pull up because she want to see the girls. Okay, cool. Ask me, did she see the girls in this scene? Absolutely not. So, basically, Amara, she mentions how she wants more children. And Alan's mom is going on and on about how Alan loves her. And she's like, she still loves him. But, she wants to go ahead and have these kids. And next thing you know, her mom pops up in the room. One thing I will say is that I do enjoy Amara's mama, especially in this situation, because she's the only one who's operating in reality. Because at this point, Amara's mom is like, girl, you talking about how you love him and how his mom is saying that he love you, but are we all forgetting that this man, he has a whole wife. He got a whole family. He has other kids with said wife. What the fuck are we talking about right now? Like, it's crazy. And then, plot twist, here goes Amara's mama. She like, you know what? Who you should be having kids with is MJ. Because she knows that MJ will probably be a stand-up dude. He'll probably be around for the kids. Because we all know Alan is doing the bare minimum. Y'all, his mama had the audacity to say, Alan's mother had the audacity to say, yeah, but the kids won't come out as cute as these, the ones with Alan. I'm sorry, but am I the only one who feels like there was some racial undertone with that? Like, it's cool to say that you have a handsome son, but I feel like because she know MJ is black and Amara is a chocolate woman, there's a possibility that those kids are going to come out really brown. Maybe their hair texture may be different. That's the vibe that I was getting. I'm sorry, that's what I got. And again, Amara's mother, only one operating in reality, saying, well, Alan is still married. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, it's crazy that Amara, she wants to believe so much in what Alan's mother is saying because she's hoping that he will leave his wife for her. That is insane. Then on top of that, what's crazy is that when they talked about having more kids and they're like, oh yeah, we could do like in vitro, his mama was like, oh no, it needs to be the natural way. That's creepy for anybody's mother to say that. I'm sorry about what their kids is doing. Giving weirdo vibes. But we gonna go ahead and move on. Trina and her husband, honestly, it was not much going on with Trina. I don't even know why we included this. Basically, they have kind of been going through it a little bit because he's having a hard time dealing with the outside world peeking in on their reality. Okay? I guess he was cool when it was just him and Trina, but now since the public knows that they're married and people want to pry into his business, it's a lot for him to handle. So he suggests that they go talk to somebody. We don't see her go talk to anybody. Later on, we see Swerve. He goes to see a pastor, and we learn a little bit more about him. He was raised by his grandparents, and honestly, I just feel like this whole thing was unnecessary. Like, I get it. You need to figure out how you're going to navigate being a husband to a celebrity. But at the same time, I really don't care. What I care about is you going to go get that DNA test. If you're not going to do that, or if you're not going to go apologize to Bobby, we have nothing to talk about. Moving on. Joy. Y'all, Joy is grasping at straws to stay on the show. Because let's be honest, if she wasn't getting into it with Trick, or if she wasn't trying to defend Trina in some way, shape, or possible, she ain't got nothing going on. So basically, she goes to see So Unique. And So Unique is filming this video, and the concept is like, the whole Pop the Balloon show that they have on YouTube. And Joy is talking about how she's getting upset and she's getting a little jealous. She goes around and pops all the balloons, and it's just like, girl, what are you doing? First of all, Joy, you gotta be close to 50. why are you acting like this? You are not some young 25-year-old. Grow up, please. So then she goes on to say that, she wants to give Her and So Unique a try. Not you getting Trick Daddy sloppy seconds. And not even young Trick Daddy, old Trick Daddy sloppy seconds. That's wild. At this point, y'all should have just had a threesome and called it a day. Like, Joy going back over there with Trick. So Unique, you can go over there too. Like, what are we doing? Moving on. Okay, so we have Alan going to see Amara. He talking about he can't even see her and the girls. Let me tell y'all, one thing about this whole thing with Amara, everybody want to come see the girls, but ain't nobody seen them. Ain't nobody seen these girls. So, what's funny is that Amara mama goes to the door and she like, oh, Amara not here. Baby, she was so ready to close that door right in that man's face. So, he's like, no, but I'm trying to see the girls and all this stuff with Amara. So then her mom was like, let's talk outside. They go outside because clearly he is not welcome in that house. I'm just like, this is saying a lot. Okay? The fact that mama won't let him in that house, I knew he wasn't going to see them girls at all. Not that night. Nonetheless, she does tell him that, your mama was here and she was saying how, for y'all to have more kids, y'all need to do this naturally. And according to him, because Alan has an opinion, he says that he can't do in vitro because the baby has to be done. It has to be born naturally and we have to procreate naturally and all of this crap. So then he's like, well, I need to talk to Amara. And here goes Amara mama. Well, she not here because she's out with MJ, okay? She's at an event with MJ. I mean, she wasn't exactly with MJ. She was at an event for MJ. But I see what you're doing, mama. I see what you're doing. You are trying to get rid of Alan because you know how delusional your child is, okay? You are trying your best. Now, moving on from there, we get to the event, right? So, Amara shows up. Here goes Shay Mama Sandra. Baby, she's all up in Amara's face. Oh, Amara, how are you? What's going on? Like, they are good girlfriends, okay? I'm like, okay. I mean, I guess at one point, her and Amara probably had a good rapport because not only is Amara friends with Shay, but she was also dating MJ at one point. Next thing you know, we see Pinky Doll. She's there. I'm like, the way they're trying to squeeze Pinky Doll into these random scenes blow my mind. She don't be knowing nobody there, have the most mouth, and it's just so unnecessary. Pinky Doll needs to go. Like, I can understand if they would have brought her in and had her film with maybe like Zoe or what's that other girl name? Shane Diamond. I could understand that because all of them are supposed to be like these up and coming girls who are trying to rap. But her hanging out with MJ, like, why is she here? MJ don't know this girl. How she get an invite? She don't need to hang out with Bobby. She don't need to hang out with Tip because Tip is like, 50 years old? What are we doing? Please stop bringing this girl around. Nonetheless, so Pinky, she's trying to tell Bobby and Tip about how, they were at this audition and how Amara don't like her. And she's just going on and on. And I'm like, Pinky, you're crazy. Because you are putting 20 on 10. Okay? Like, yeah, it was an awkward encounter, but you thinking that Amara is hating on you is weird. Because it's not even that vibe. And y'all know I don't even rock with Amara like that. But Pinky is crazy. So, next thing you know, Shay, she comes in, she got Mike with her or whatever. And then they go to this video. I wanted that video to stop as soon as it started. No, thank you. Now, we got the cast. They're over here lying. Saying, oh my God, we loved it. We loved the message of the song. Oh my God. Lie, lie, lie. Now, at this point, Sandra, she decides, okay, I'm going to pull Mike to the side, ask him some questions, And here's the thing. She asked him about prison. He was like, yeah, that happened 20 years ago. They talk about Shay and how Shay doesn't need a controlling man. And at the end of the day, you know, Shay's mom, she did like him. She felt like he answered the questions really good. And Mike does seem very chill. He does seem different than Fabo. So that's a plus. I'm just wondering if Shay and Mike, are still a thing or what's going on there. But here's where all the mess is about to happen. Okay. Pinky Doll comes back over to the group, and at this point, Amara is over there. Now, Amara is explaining her side of the story of what happened with Ray J, and basically how Ray was being messy. Oh no, because Pinky Doll, she is going on about how, I'm that girl, and Amara's trying to come for me, and it becomes a whole thing. Like, it became ridiculous. You got Amara yelling, yes, yes, yes. You got Pinky yelling whatever she's yelling. Just stupid. Pure stupid. Like, Pinky is gunning for a spot on this show. And I get it. She's trying to take out the Queen Bee. But that's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen in the way that you think it is. Especially considering you're saying things like, oh, you just hating on me because I'm young and blah, blah, blah. Girl, you're not even popping. In the words of Amara, I don't have to eat hot dogs, okay, to make money. Like, you out here, we saw you about to gag and throw up because you were over here trying to stuff 40 hot dogs down your throat, girl. Come on now. Like, Pinky is just so the worst addition to this show. But we're going to go ahead and move on because in the midst of all that, all the hoopla that was happening, Alan shows up. Alan, you already knew you shouldn't have been here because the person whose event this was, it was MJ's. So at the end of the day, you was wrong. Like, you couldn't text Amara and be like, hey, meet me outside. You should have knew something was going to go down. Now, here's the thing. MJ, he feeling away because he sees Amara standing there with Alan. Alan, basically, he's trying to tell Amara about what happened with her mom. But here's the thing. He was not giving actual factuals at all. Okay? Now, out of nowhere, here goes Shay. Shay's pissed off because this man, he has done her friend wrong. At the same time, this is the man who was supposed to be friends with my brother, but he took his girl, and I'm not going to let him keep sliding by, okay? So Shay gets on her soapbox and starts yelling across the room because she's pissed off that Alan has called Amara out her name. She's pissed off that her friend is being stupid behind Alan. And at the end of the day, Shay, baby, Amara gonna be dumb, okay? The same way you was dumb over Fabo for all them years, she's gonna be dumb over Alan, okay? It just kind of is what it is. Because at this point, because Shay's doing all this yelling, Amara trying to calm it down. Next thing you know, Alan saying stuff back, MJ gets involved. They all about to have a huge fight. It's like, what is going on? Like, I don't even know what's happening at this point. Because next thing you know, Mike Nasty is taking his shirt off. Sir, why are you taking your shirt off? What's going on? You don't know these people like that. Hell, you don't even know Shay like that. You don't need to be involved with this. Come on now. And then for Alan to be like, oh, they want to fight, then we can fight. Sir, cool it. Because I think you might be losing this one if Mike Nasty get involved. Because listen, you might got one up on MJ. But I don't think you got it with Mike. Mike gives me, he might got some hands, okay? So, like I said, Shay, this was not the place. You didn't have to do all that. At the end of the day, Amara is going to make the dumb decisions that she makes, okay? So, here we go. Alan and Amara, they decide to go off to the side to have this conversation, okay? When I tell you Amara was giving her best telenovela about how Alan has played with her emotions and how, he keeps telling her that he'll leave his wife, but he keeps, leaves her waiting, and how she just can't do it anymore. And I mean, all the dramatics, okay? And what's crazy is that Amara had the audacity to say, if they're not together, then she will continue to have a broken home and she will continue to be a single mother. Please stop. I'm sorry, Amara, you've got to be stopped. You've been a single mother this entire time. Whole time. And you tell it, he's not even a good father to the 2 kids that y'all have together. Yet you are over here whining and crying behind a man who don't take care of his kids. Yet for some reason, you are stuck on stupid thinking that he should have more children with you just so that you can have the same baby daddy. Girl, adding another baby to the equation ain't gonna help it, because he's still gonna be married to his wife, taking care of his kids in the Dominican Republic, and not focused on yours. Because what's so crazy, though, about this whole Alan and Amara situation is that Amara came to us whining and crying about Alan, and how Alan does this, how Alan does that, how he's so horrible. However, you was taking trips to DR to go sleep with him. Your kids wasn't there. So I can't take you seriously if you keep hopping on the D and not making him do anything for your children. Or honestly, he should want to do stuff for your children. Like, he's a piss poor father. Like, I'm not understanding this. Then on top of that, you're mad at him because he won't leave his wife so that they can have a broken home. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. That man is still married. And now you over here whining and crying on national TV because he refuses to leave his family to start a family with you and your kids. You sound crazy. You are the mistress. You need to go ahead and accept the cards that you were dealt and understand that, listen, he was not my man. That's what you need to tell yourself. Look in the mirror, Amara, and say, he was not my man. He is not my man. Because he has a whole family over there. Like, just pure craziness. But y'all, let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Go ahead and drop down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will talk to y'all in my next review. Bye, guys.